Hey everybody, welcome back to On the Grid, and we are in KartKraft today. I've been wanting to get to this game, I guess, for the past, I would say, month and a half, and for one reason or another, I just haven't gotten around to it. It's just, there's been other things that come up, and I end up, switching my focus to that, but I did really want to get back into KartKraft and, kind of see where it is or what the state of KartKraft is here in the beginning of 2021. I guess if we have to kind of go back to say the initial release, which was in 2018, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, actually early 2018 was the initial release of KartKraft. And for me, it looked really promising. I was so excited about it because, I'm not an avid kart racer. I always really loved it, and I was really, enjoyed real life kart racing, but I've never really managed to get my head around how to handle these cars, or karts, I should say, in game, in a sim game. So when I saw this, for me, it seemed like it was going to be what ACC is to GT3 racing. KartKraft was looking like it was going to be that for kart. And so I picked it up immediately and start kind of following it and seeing the evolution of it. And I remember, 2018 had, quite a few releases as far as, tweaks and fixes and things that were added to the game and physics updates and a few things here and there, but there was never really anything as far as content that was added. I mean, it was very, very light on content. And yeah, I guess it was never really something that came to fruition, and still to this day, which is kind of why I wanted to get back into it, because I wanted to see really what the status of this game is. And so, through 2019, when they added VR and they added a few more physics updates, and then the Atlanta race motorsport park was added, I guess I would say August, like in the summer of August 2019, the KZ2 carts were added, and then they just continued to add a few things here and there. There was never really any major, evolution of the game in the sense of content. And so that's, I guess, really what had me concerned about, where was this game going to go, where it was going to end up. And so when we got to 2020, I guess the last bigger update was in June, I guess, of 2020. And I remember there was, multiplayer was going to be the big thing. There was like a multiplayer registration. I think that was in maybe March or April. I got into that and I did a few of the multiplayer sessions, and there were more. They were scheduled sessions. They weren't anything that was really, you can jump in and just create your multiplayer lobbies. And I think at the same time, Paul Fletcher International, that track was added, I guess from June of 2020 to say October, maybe September, October, around there. There wasn't really anything. It kind of went silent, and I was wondering what was going on. I was like, is this game, still going to evolve? Is there still support for it? But for me, I guess the big thing is, where is this game going as far as content? And so what I want to do is just take a run through the game and kind of look at where it is now. Honestly, I haven't touched this game, and I would say 5 months. So I'm not sure what's been changed in the menu. So we're just going to go through the menu, check out the settings. I know there was something done with the force feedback and the controller settings and how that was set up. So we'll take a quick look through that. That's really kind of why I wanted to revisit this, to see, what the status of the game is today. So let's take a quick look let's just run through the menus. We'll go through the settings first and take a look at if there's any changes here. Nothing much there. Assist the telemetry. That's good if you're using Fanatec especially, so there's nothing major there. The input. Okay, so this is completely different. Yeah, so it's not reading my wheel, so we need to set that up. The first thing we'll do is let's just go quickly through here and map this. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but let's see what this new mapping setup is like, because I know initially it could have been quite overwhelming from people just trying to get their wheels set up. And so I know as far as the force feedback, there's been quite a few things changed, and especially for DD wheels, it's technically supposed to feel a lot better. So we'll get in there and check that out. But let's map this one. So rotate the wheel. Okay, so I just turned a little bit to the right and rotate the wheel to the right, and then press any key. Okay, here we go. Rotate the wheel to the left. Any key. There we go. Okay, so that's quite simple. All right, throttle. All right, press all throttle and then press any key. Okay, so it's basically just signaling the maximum minimum of everything. So brake pedal is detected, press it all the way. Just hitting enter, hit the clutch. All right, so you're probably gonna hear my clutch going on there, or my pedals. So press it all the way, just hitting enter, release, hit enter. So this is really quite simple. I love it. The gear up, So I think for anybody getting into this now, this is going to be a very straightforward way of getting yourself set up. So I don't need the respawn, but let's get the pause button. All right, so we just quickly want to go through and just map these out so you can see everything is kind of functioning now. It's quite easy to set it up, which I like this layout. It's a little bit cleaner, a bit more intuitive for setting up your wheel. Now, as far as force feedback, we definitely don't want this to be at 100. Well, I don't want it to be at 100 anyway. I want to try it out. Let's try it at, like, say 80 for now. We'll try that. The filtering, I know, actually, you know what we'll leave this at default for now. And we'll just see that. So minimum force, we don't need that with the direct drive wheel. Dead zone, we don't need anything that. Invert, we don't need that. So we'll leave all this as is, and I think we're pretty good to go there. So let's get back at there. Graphics wise, nothing really changed here. Frame per second limit, that's fine. Sound, no new changes there. VR has been added, that was added a while ago. I don't have VR, so we don't need to worry about that. Now, this is where I was kind of wondering what's been going on with this game, because there was supposed to be multiplayer, and I believe it was 16 multiplayer racers in a session. And aside from the original test that they did early last year for the multiplayer sessions, which were timed sessions, there really hasn't been anything as far as multiplayer is concerned. So I'm wondering, you know, is there going to be multiplayer in this, or have they, is it kind of shelved it for now? Is there other things that are more important they're trying to work on? Or, you know, the whole COVID thing could obviously have effect with people working remotely, but this has been we're over 2 years since this game is released and multiplayer is still not in it. So I don't know what's going on there, but it'd be great to see that multiplayer come. I'm sure that would make for some really great events in this. So as far as content, this is where the big concern is. I mean, this is an installed mod. So aside from that, you have Atlanta Motorsport Park, Geel, which is in Australia, and then you have the Go Kart Club of Victoria, which is also in Australia, and then reverse. So this is basically the same track. And then you have Paul Fletcher International, and then the Classic. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 tracks. That's really all there is in the game. It's 4 tracks. And as far as karts, we know that you have the KZ2, you have the X30, and the K100. So you have 3 karts. So it's still like really, really light on content. And I think that's the one thing, I think maybe that's why I kind of have not gone back to it, because I've run these circuits like multiple times and I kind of got bored with running them. And so I never really found an incentive to come back. I mean, if there was, you know, the time trials are definitely, you know, interesting, going in here, doing these time trials and, you know, going against the Ghost, or going, sorry, not Ghost, but going against the leaderboards, and you're kind of, you know, constantly working to work your way up the leaderboard. But that gets repetitive and it gets a bit boring after a while. So for me, I was really looking forward to the online sessions. But aside from that, really what I want to check out today is this new physics update, because there has been a major update to the physics today. I guess the biggest one since last year, or not last year, even maybe 2019. So I'll have to go back and check in the release notes, but I believe it's been since 2019 that there was any major physics updates, and that's kind of one of the big ones today. So, all right, let's get in here. Let's do a practice session. Where should we go? We'll go to Atlanta. All right, so let's go ahead and check out the karts. Well, you know what? Let's take the KZ2. I think that's fine. That's good. All right, so let's pick. Why do I have 3 Monacos? Diddly. That's fine. We have 3 Monacos. Must be a little bug there. Not sure what's going on with that, but we'll just take one of the Monacos. That's fine. All right, so let's get out on track here. See what this feels like. Such a different discipline to figure these out. Ooh. Yeah, that force feedback is still a bit too strong. Probably have the kart specialist freaking out right now. They're like, dude, why are you driving like that? I told you, I'm not the best. My tires are getting up there. Yeah, this game's fun already. I have a good time when I'm racing it, but I want more options. The AMS2 and KartKraft should come together and do a content release. But I have a smile on my face the whole time. You can't see it, but I have a big grin on my face because I'm having so much fun with it. Ooh, I had lift off there. Yeah, those tires seem to be pretty hot. Look at the smoke there. Oh, I can create smoke. That's nice smoke. Yeah, see, that's a bit high. Front ones seem to be okay. Okay, let's go. Take 2 laps and we'll get these tires up to tip. So you can't talk and drive at the same time with these things. Tons of blind corners on this track. Alright, take us. Finish. Whoa. The point of these games is to have fun, and if you have a smile on your face while you're running these laps, then all good. I need to do a community race with kart racers, just so they can tell me everything I'm doing wrong. Trust me, I won't take it personal, but I literally do want to learn how to run these things. Feeling better. The physics though, this physics change is really nice. The force feedback feels great. I mean, the force feedback always felt great in KartKraft, but it just feels like it's dialed in now. And I'm liking these settings, so. And I have my sensitivity. I know you're probably going to freak out. I have my sensitivity at 540. I know you're supposed to have it around 160, something really low like that, but it's impossible for me to drive at that low of a sensitivity. I'm just spinning out left and right. Oh, that's a nice long drift around there. That feels good. Fast lap of the session. I'm the only one in the session. Don't lose it. Sorry. Where am I going? Alright, so let's take a run on Paul Fletcher International in the KA100. This is a newer kart that was added, I guess, a couple of updates ago. Not sure how this drives, but we'll soon find out. This is a good track because it's got a really nice flow to it once you get yourself hooked up. Gotta get these tires warmed up. Getting better. Don't spin out. I'm feeling like I need to get on the throttle like halfway through the corner. If you're good at this, leave the comments on what I need to do to improve my driving in this, because I would really like to know. I like this kart though, KA100. Yes, fastest time in the session. Keep in mind, I'm the only one in the session. My tire temps are staying pretty good though. I'm not cooking them in anything specific. I keep wanting to shift. I'm so used to driving cars with shift. Trying to get a little bit wilder with this, throwing it into the corners more, but this is the corner that gets me all the time. Oh, took that a little bit better. Don't laugh at me. I'm new to this. Can we get a better time? Okay, new personal best. As long as I see that every lap, that's all that matters. That's better. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this new physics update. I gotta go into setups though and figure that low, I don't want to say that first gear, but that lower end of the gear, get a little bit more power in it. I feel like I'm bogging down. Yeah, so physics update's really nice. Force feedback feels great. But again, I think the only issue is that there's no multiplayer yet. Alright everybody, that's a quick look at the latest version of KartKraft 2940. There's been a lot of things underneath the hood that have been changed and updated, but I guess the biggest thing out of this version 2940 is the physics and the handling. And the handling does feel really good. The force feedback feels really, really nice. I had to make very few changes from my initial setup and just a couple of changes in-game, and it feels pretty spot on. I mean, I would say that the force feedback in KartKraft has been great right from the beginning, and now it just kind of it's all come together and it's feeling really nice and smooth. It just feels great through the wheel, especially on a direct drive wheel. So really, really good to see. I hope you enjoyed that. Just a quick look at the current state of KartKraft. As I said, I think the biggest thing holding this game back is two things. One, the lack of content. I think there needs to be quite a few more tracks. I would say at least a handful, like 5-6 tracks, and maybe a couple more karts. But I'm not so adamant about more karts. I think it's really the track layout that I think would be great to see. And multiplayer. Of course, multiplayer will be a game changer for this. So hopefully we see that come soon. But yeah, so that was just a quick look at the latest update in KartKraft. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. And we'll catch you guys again really soon. All right, until next time, take care.